Welcome back, everybody. Automotive Inc. Today we are checking out the new 2025 Nissan Rogue. They did do a mid-model refresh for 24 and 25, so some interesting changes specifically to the grille there. A lot less chrome than before, some sharper angles. Now this thing just came off the truck, so it's got all kinds of plastic and crap on it. Before we get started, if you don't mind smashing that subscribe button for me, notification bell, you know I'm posting new content, and a thumbs up in the video. Again, subscribing doesn't cost you guys anything, but it does help a small channel out. So let's walk around this little guy. So you really can't see a whole lot because, like I said, they had to go get gas in this, take it out of demo mode and everything. New little good looking wheel, missing the caps. Big change, obviously the Platinum is the top of the line. That is gloss black, gloss black. But if you guys didn't know, the little Rogue has in the upper trims, SL and above, has this cool little foldable rear end here. So if you want more room, you can take this bad boy down and drop it down this hole. And this little cover will stay on it. Again, it's not all set up. And then you can take this and tip it up and have some divided storage there. And if you want, you can then have one higher or one lower. And you can put both of them down below and make all your storage lower. Just kind of a cool little way to do that. Now there is a temporary tire in here. Put this down for a second. Underneath all of that jazz is a temp. Now you can just use this as under storage for this. And you don't have to overthink it. It's not that complicated as hard as I was making it look. Lots more chrome on this bad boy, but really where it shines is inside. So again, I have the seat set up front for me, and we probably got about 1.5 inches there. Do get heated seats and tri-zone temperature control, so that's nice for little compact like this to have that in the segment. It's very rare. Above me we got some nice reading lights, panoramic roof, hard here. The rest is super soft and nice. And then you do have your little window screens for the kiddos or your pups. And if we climb up front here, we do like the butterscotch interior better, but these seats are zero gravity. Very, very nice seats. All right. And the only thing we dinged the Rock Creek for was they put piano black here. It's not a big deal, but why not just put this material or this right here? But there it is. This is the new Google-based system. Before, Nissan's system was pretty, let's just call it rudimentary. Just a pretty simple thing. Here, everything lays out the same as the Rock Creek. You have a split console, same turbocharged engine. If you guys watched our Ford video on the Bronco Sport, rear wiper is super noisy. On the Dodge Hornet, we did a review on that. That windshield wipers completely broke off. And this thing is super nice and super quiet. Steering wheel is super soft. Now in the up trim one, you will get those full 12-inch LCD gauges, which we can switch around. And then this one will have the upgraded Bose stereo, which is actually really good, but the base one on the Rock Creek was fantastic too. Highly configurable. You get your Google Maps, your audio here, and then you do have a little perch where you can use your hard buttons, so you do have redundant buttons. And again, because this is the only small compact I know that has a tri-zone optional, that's pretty cool to have that. Our kid will be back there cooling himself off while we're up here running the heater. So
with his heated seats, because they have heated seats back there.
Yes, heated seats in the Platinum. So the only thing I don't see in this specific trim level is HomeLink, but I noticed a lot of people at Chevy are going away from that. Oh,
watch this. Look at this now. The HomeLink is now weirdly in there if you can somehow get your garage to sync to it. I just saw that too because that was the one thing I noticed that they're going away from, that I just thought it was really interesting that that's actually there. So I'm not sure how that would work with our garage, as it's a little bit older. Yeah, so that is a good feature to have. Again, this system looks really clean, really smooth and everything. All right, so with the new screen, fantastic viewing. You can go in here and hit 3D. It'll do a 3D wrap around it, checking around your car. Really good clarity on those. If you want, you can go into these individual camera modes and check out things. We did configure the gauges, changed them out to this, and changed up the HUD information. Stereo, for being a Bose, they're typically not my favorite over Harman Kardon.
excellent there, so that's really good. This screen is fantastic. We got it set up for here, and then once you get in here, you can obviously dismiss that and bring up the map there. Now we're going to start getting her impressions. Now that she's gotten into it, we're going to take it on a spin, get it on the highway and everything like that. All right, so in the Platinum, guys, this is going to be right around $45,000 before discounts and everything like that. Big differences from the inside. What do you think so far?
I think that the big differences are the screen, definitely the infotainment center. I think that's a huge change. It changes literally everything about it. Everything just seems more accessible. I like the new upgrades that Nissan did. Display, so that's a huge change. I'm not usually one for heads-up display, but this one tells me the information I would normally look down for anyway. All of this digital display is really cool. You can have your Google Maps up there, which is awesome. I've never had a car that was before, so I really like that. Really, so far, this is my first impression. A lot of cool changes inside that they've really done to it, and you couldn't really tell in the Rock Creek. When you looked on the outside of the Rock Creek Rogue, it looked brand new on the outside, and then you got inside and it was an older Rogue. That's really what it was. So you got inside and it was like a 2022 Rogue. When you get in here, this looks like a 2025 Rogue.
Yeah, the new screen, the new technology, the way they've done it is, again, the older one works. It's fine, but it could be better.
That got some turbo.
So we did reset the fuel economy. We're going to take us on like an 8-9 mile drive. It's not going to be a whole lot of analytical data for it to it'll give us an idea. It resets at usually after 1 mile, so we'll get a vague idea because we want more power in any car. So, you know, we're going to check that fuel economy, but really these are the upgraded quilted, you know, seats. They're excellent.
Incredibly comfortable.
But all of the Nissan seats are good, whether you get cloth, the base, the middle grade, they're all zero gravity, so that's really nice.
Yeah.
Very nice put together. I mean, we drove that Hornet and it looked good on paper, and then you got into it and actually touched it and drove it, and you're like, what a piece of crap. You know, it was just like, it just really wasn't good in any area other than it was EV and electrical and stuff. I mean, the power was good. But you just feel like, wow, for that being a $52,000 car, this definitely would be better than that.
Yeah, so this is a, what, $39,000?
This one's $45,000, being the Platinum. But you can get an SL with the Premium, with the big screen, all the heated stuff. You get analog gauges. That would be a huge plus for me. But you are only going to get light gray or black. For her, if she wants the butterscotch color, you're going to have to go to the Platinum trim to even get that, because they offer black, and then they offer that brownish and black trim. So me personally, I would do an SL. You could save the moolah. You can still get a sunroof. It's going to be about $4,000 cheaper. You get a little bit different wheel. These wheels are really nice looking.
These wheels are cool.
And I don't necessarily care for the all digital gauges, because that middle display in the SL would still display the maps.
Oh,
so
it would. That's good to know.
Yes, I mean, well, at least for the most part it would. It did the navigation in our 22 Pathfinder, so I'm assuming if it's Google based as this, it would do that. But, you know, overall though, the rest of the car still same good viewpoint out the back.
Yeah, great viewpoints, great overall everywhere around. It's just different from the Buick that we drove.
Has good C-pillar windows, and she even found the home link within the system, so I'm sure you can make a short key or shortcut somewhere on this screen. Again, it's brand new, so it'd be hard to say if you can or can't, but most of the Google screens are configurable to have that, you know, and the clarity is real good. Visibility, what do you think?
Visibility is awesome. I mean, huge side mirrors. When we drove the Rock Creek, it was still kind of in demo mode. I had to reverse old school without a single camera, and it just reminded me, I mean, it was plenty easy to do with just the two side mirrors, a big enough back windshield. I didn't feel freaked out about doing it. So I think the visibility in this car is awesome.
Yeah, it has a good hood line that slopes down for anybody that might be shorter. Dash down, you have the ability to raise the seat up off the floor on the driver's side. So, I mean, you have that. You have memory settings, so if two people would be driving it, they could set the road, and that's nice. Good visibility out the belt line of the windows.
Yeah, I mean, other than the little sticker on the window, everything else is really good. I have a couple of things that I would change about this. The angle of this right here seems to be catching a lot of glares as we're driving, which I'm kind of a glare person. It just, you can see like the lights and all that type of thing just kind of flash back at you. So I'm not really sure why they stuck with the piano black up here when they could have put all these other cool materials that they put all the way around the car. I will say that they are downplaying that piano black, which I'm so grateful for. We're about to get on the highway, but other than that, I bought this car.
Yeah, and now because we're going to be getting on the highway, we're going to see her impression, because again, the Hyundai Tucson that we have is a 23. It's not that inspiring to drive. It's a good car, but it just feels like it's always hunting. Even the standard Subaru engines feels a little peppier. You know, just so this is one of the main sticking points to that. And also, being a small engine with power, you'd like fuel economy. We like to eat our cake, you know, have our cake and eat it too. So at the end of the day, we're going to kind of get an idea what that is. As we talk more about it, again, this is just a little, I think, 3-cylinder turbo, 200 horsepower, 211 foot-pounds of torque.
No idea. I just know that it goes fast. Well, if we're trying to get down 925.
Right, and if you guys want to see the review on the Rock Creek, I will link that down below. Because for me too, I thought that system was good enough for me. But
oh, plenty of pep. Oh.
Yeah, and no road noise.
No road noise, and we're in with a lot of brand new plastic and rattling things, and things aren't really secure right now, and really no road noise, no rattling inside.
Yeah, now when we drove the 25 Equinox, yeah, you can't even hear outside noise all that much for being a semi. Good interior quietness. But when we drove the 25 Equinox, those off-road tires on the active, a little noisy. When we drove the Rock Creek, we didn't really hear any noise. Of course, they gave it to us no gas in demo mode, so it was hard to really get out on the highway. But this has 19 or 20-inch wheels on it. It's pretty quiet.
That turbo's fun. I'm not sure what our gas mileage is going to look like when I'm driving it. Oh, there is, when you're doing the lane keep assist, because I was kind of merging, I don't like semis, but your steering wheel vibrates. I haven't had that since my Telluride. So that's kind of a cool feature. It kind of vibrates instead of sends that beeping of, you know, whatever, saying that you're out of your lane. Oh, I need to get past this semi.
Yeah, and really at the end of the day, heads-up displays, I love them. I think they're fantastic to be able to keep everything up in front of you that you need to know information-wise.
Yep, tells you when you're speeding.
Apparently she's speeding.
No, I'm just saying it probably tells you.
But let's zap over here and look at these gauges while she's driving. So yeah, I mean, they're pretty simple. Are they the sexiest gauges? No, I like the depth of the analog ones, but the screen in the middle with the map, that's really neat. And they're nice looking. They're better looking than the ones in my $80,000 Ford pickup. So that's cool. And again, I don't crank up the stereo because I don't want to get hit for a license infringement. I don't pay for copyright to play music in here. And the recording of that won't be all that great. You're going to take my word for it. It is a really good stereo, but the bass one is just good. And it smells so nice in here.
It does smell nice in here.
I mean, all cars have a new car smell, but some cars, after they lose the new car smell, they smell like a butt. Kias with the colored leather or Synthex leather that's colored, if it ain't black, it's going to stink. So you may not smell it, but we've had to. I would highly encourage that not to, but we know Nissan has really real leather seats and they don't stink.
Yeah, so far, so I mean, it's fantastic right now driving it. It's got so much pep. You can definitely feel the turbo. Again, I'm not sure what our gas mileage is going to be.
Well, again, at the end of the day, we know eventually once she got done playing with the turbo, she would never get old playing with the turbo. Never mind.
I wouldn't.
But you know, when you get in some of these small cars, it's kind of like it looks fun to drive. It feels nice in here, and then it's a slug. It's a dog on the highway. It's a dog doing everything. Turbo or not, manufacturers can tweak transmissions, CVTs, and everything to do a lot with a little. So the fact that they did really well with this car, it looks fun to drive, it's super comfortable, it actually has good usable space no matter what trim you get. But the turbo engine, if you can squeak out the fuel economy and that, because it does have different drive modes down here. It's got sport, highway, snow, a checkered flag, I'm assuming that's sport. We'll put it over here to sport for her. Usually that holds shift points and stuff. It's not really going to give you much more power, but at the end of the day, if you want to, we'll see if it firms up the steering. I don't know if it's going to do that either. You can let me know if the steering weight feels good. Another thing we would like to talk about this, and usually I try and let her talk, but I make more videos, so I'm used to talking and talking points. So I have to remind her of what she likes so that she can give her 2 cents on it. Is turn signal stocks and wiper stocks. That's the little switch handles that you use on either one of the steering wheels. And she brought this up, several of them, that they're super confusing.
Okay, that is a little faster, just heads up in sports. Whoa! Yeah.
Figured it might be. And some of them are confusing. Like the Ford ones felt cheap. The Hornet was very confusing. The Chevy ones felt good. There's a little bit of a learning curve on those. And then sometimes when they integrate those stupid paddle shifters, they're gigantic in the Hornet. If you guys want to see the Hornet review, I would not buy that car. I think that's going to be a huge flop for Dodge, but it will have its point as long as you get those rebates. But in here they do really well. Let's take a look. And she can talk about this a little bit more, but you got your rear wiper, super easy to figure out, super easy, nothing's hiding it. If you want to use these shifter paddles, they're there. They're very subtle. You can see them right there. But, you know, I want you to talk about why it's important for you in these and the other cars, why they sucked and this is good.
Well, let me hit the gas first. Oh, that sport mode is no joke. I like that, but we probably should take it out if we're going to check our... anyways, I definitely like them. I mean, they're really easy and simple. You got your wipers on one, your blinker on the other. The blinkers actually turn off. The Dodge Hornet, the blinkers would just stay on, which was really odd. I just think that they're simple. They've got everything I absolutely need. I have, right now, my Tucson has that rain sensing wipers, and actually I hate it because I'm one who, if I have one drop on my windshield, it's got to go. And then my rain sensing wipers won't do it unless I'm forcing it to do it. And I don't think that's actually, I don't know. I want my wipers on at a consistent pace, so I really am glad that that doesn't have that. You can have it on all of here, and they're easy access right there at the fingertips. I got nothing else to say.
Yeah. And that's really the thing, is because sometimes they overthink it. They got switches on the ends, flippers in the middle, dials that you got to turn, push, pull, whatever. Just make it simple for all of us, because that's just going to be the easiest way. So now she put it in Eco.
Put it in Eco.
Not sure why she'd even play with that mode, because she's never going to use that. I would probably use normal, or I would probably use Eco. I usually.
I'm trying to test the gas mileage with my turbo foot. I also want to see in Eco mode how the turbo feels. So that's kind of what I was looking for.
All right. So we already know that she likes sport and normal. Let's see if she likes the flower.
I think it's a leaf.
Okay, it's a leaf.
It's definitely a little bit more laggy, which, you know, you're expecting it to be. You don't want that turbo to kick in. It doesn't feel as laggy as my 4-cylinder, but it definitely, well, no, actually, maybe it was just...
Still has plenty of zip
it still has plenty of zip.
In flower power, or whatever the hell that mode is, so...
flower power, I like that.
But, I mean, again, no matter what trim you get, 31 combined on this one, 28 and 34 highway. So this one's a little bit higher than Rock Creek. That's because of the rubber that's on it, okay? A little bit beefier rim on that, and definitely a more aggressive tread. So this one has less rolling resistance. So, good there. But, all right, guys. Well, we're going to keep on driving this bad boy, and we will come back and wrap this up and let you know what we think. All right, guys. We are wrapping up the drive in the Platinum trimmed Rogue for 2025. We did do a video on the Rock Creek, so you can check that link down below. The Rock Creek is now their more off-road looking vehicle. A little bit more bold look to it, a little bit more aggressive rubber on the tires. But what did you think of the Platinum?
The Platinum was nice. The Platinum was very smooth and refined, and it just looked more upscale. I really like the improvements that they've done since the last time I drove it, was probably 2022. The whole new infotainment system was really nice and user-friendly, incredibly user-friendly. I would say it even is as user-friendly as the Ford system. I haven't really found one that has been that easy to navigate. The heads-up display was really nice, and I was kind of playing with that because I'm not really one that likes anything on the windshield. But I could tone down the brightness. I can lower it to a different level so it's not in my line of sight. It had really cool things because we tried the nav in the heads-up display. Having the Google Maps in the center was really cool. I did like on the Rock Creek where we actually had the analog gauges versus the digital gauges. So I would prefer that analog, but the way they did the digital was just fine. Overall, I think they did a really nice job on the Platinum.
So this might be a car she's thinking about. We'll have to talk later, obviously, off camera. But overall, we did check fuel economy. It was about 26.5, even getting into it. So it's right on par with what the window sticker said.
I'm shocked by that, to be honest, because I was really flooring it and pushing that turbo. And that engine's brand new, so you know it's not going to get the best fuel economy right away.
Yeah, and so obviously 3 different animals. We talked about this in the Rock Creek video of why they didn't put the big screen here and this and that and there. I think it has to deal with your defined owner, who's looking for what's important to them. I think it's important for most people to have a map available to them so they don't need that big screen. And some people want the maps up all the time without a plug and play. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that is what it is. But nice car, good fuel economy, comfortable seats. And
very comfortable seats.
Yeah, and the power's really good out of the little 3-cylinder. So now we're back in our non-turbo 2.5 liter Hyundai Tucson.
4-cylinder hamsters.
And again, it's a nice car.
It is.
It just doesn't like inspire you to drive it. You aren't, you know, enjoying sport modes or anything like that. You put this thing in sport and it's really not much different because the limitations of the engine. But comparable fuel economy out of the new Rogue versus this, I mean, that was getting 26 hammered down all the time. And this, she drives pretty easy and it's getting 24.5. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's a compelling argument. Again, the price point around that's a $45,000, but nice car.
Nice car, very nice car. I'd love to see it because we didn't get a chance to see it in the brown leather that I was looking forward to. But we did get to drive a white one. We just get to see that brown leather, so I would like to see that too.
All right. So I would definitely give that car a thumbs up. Actually, both versions for me, I'd give them a thumbs up.
I agree with that.
I think it's a sharp-looking little SUV, no matter what, you know, Goldilocks and gingerbread scenario you need to find the right fitting. They have a nice setup, and I think it's a really nice car. And yeah, so there is the wrap up on the 25 Rogue Platinum series. And as always, guys, appreciate you being here. We'll catch you on the next one.